Thank you guys for tuning in and working through all the difficulties. My little fur baby here decided to kick my power my power cord. So thank you guys for your patience. We're going to talk a little bit about LinkedIn today. And I'm so excited because when I first started doing the LinkedIn presentations, it was relatively around late 2018 when I noticed that bad dog, right? She's not dealing with quarantine and this work from home lifestyle very well. But late 2018, I realized that there was more room within LinkedIn for content creation. And a lot of the photos and videos and posts that I was posting within the platform was getting at least 3 to 4 times more traction than in Facebook. And so can everybody hear me? Someone says now that they can't hear. So I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me. Click on the stage, then press play. Can everybody hear me? Yes. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. And so I put together this presentation just because I feel like LinkedIn is changing. Back in 2018, where there was a lot of ways to get really organic traction, it's not the same, but it's still relatively a platform where you need to be using it for content creation. And so I wanted to bring you guys some tips and tricks so you can use this to your advantage, along with updated statistics from 2020 and also some content strategy of what we're seeing is actually working well within the platform versus what you may have thought was going to, really push your profile up to the top. So I'm going to share my screen. I will warn you, I keep a lot of tabs open, so don't get stressed out, okay? And we're going to get started. All righty. A second. I won't be able to see your comments until the end because this is going to take up the whole screen. So I'm just going to let you guys know that. But I will answer all questions at the end. Okay. So again, thank you guys for your time. We're going to talk a little bit about LinkedIn. Once we get to the platform part, I am going to move in and out of the screen so that you can see my LinkedIn profile. And so I can talk to you a little bit about ways you can update your profile. And what we're seeing is the profiles that will generate the most attention. But today, during our time together, we're just going to cover 3 really essential things that I think are the most important. I want you guys to familiarize yourself with the platform if you haven't been in and out of it for a while. So right now in the comments, even though I can't see it until I toggle out of the screen, I'm hopefully going to be able to scroll back through it after this. But can you just let me know right now how active you are on the LinkedIn platform? So are you in there once a month? Are you in there every week? Are you in there every day? I talk to people weekly and they haven't been in it, but once every quarter, once a year. So let me know in the platform or in the chat box how often you're using LinkedIn. And while we're doing this presentation today, I would love for you guys to look at the LinkedIn platform from both the PC if you have it and download the app if you're not already active on the app. Some other things we're going to cover. I want you to know why the platform is essential to your business and or personal branding strategy. We'll talk a lot about that. And then tonight, I want you guys to meet some new virtual networks, myself included. So get to know each other in the chat box. Nothing makes me happy than when people are connecting while I'm presenting. I do not take it personal. One of the cool things that I saw during a LinkedIn presentation 2 weeks ago was that somebody created a Google spreadsheet that was shareable, and everybody shared their name, their email address, their LinkedIn profile link, and their business. And then after it, 100 of us used that spreadsheet to connect with one another after the event. So not saying that you guys have to do that tonight, just saying that if somebody wanted to get that started within the chat box, however many of you guys are logged in right now, now we're all going to be virtually connected to each other. And I want you to use tonight as a way to boost your number from however many you have in your network, plus how many are online right now, because I think we're all here for the same purpose. Okay, so currently, the significance of LinkedIn, I use this because a lot of people, when I talk to them and I say, what do you think LinkedIn, the purpose of LinkedIn is for? They go back to what it was many, 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 many moons ago. Oh, I'm trying to look for a job, or I don't get in there because I don't need to post my resume, or I don't need to hire anybody. And that's not the significance of LinkedIn anymore. I want people to shift their mindsets to know that LinkedIn is 100% in support of content creation. And so instead of hopping into LinkedIn and thinking that I only need to be in here when I'm looking for a job or trying to hire, these are the main 4 areas that I see LinkedIn as being beneficial. So global networking, you now have, and you've always had the opportunity to add people in your network, not just in Dallas, Texas, not just within our startup community, but from all over the world. And I think currently I'm at almost 4,000 within my network. And I'm 9 times out of 10 talking to people in New York. I have a lot of folks that I've linked up with in the UK. And it's just been an amazing opportunity to get in there and to expand what I do to a global level. It's also amazing promo for you as your own personal brand and or your business. I do want to note that everything that I'm going to talk to you guys tonight is from what we're seeing from personal profiles. So you can create a separate profile for your business. It's just harder to get that traction to build that up. That's something you have to work on over time. But a lot of the numbers and the engagement that we're seeing is coming from personal LinkedIn profiles. But it is an amazing space for you to talk about all of the things that you're doing within your business, to showcase your industry expertise. So again, when I talk about where LinkedIn is now, this is what we're seeing. It still is applicable for job searches or hiring. And in my opinion, it is the new business card. Now, before COVID-19, when you would go out and you would network with folks, you know, paper business cards were a thing of the old. Everybody is now is like, hey, what's your LinkedIn? I want to connect with you on LinkedIn. And then you're linked up that way, and then you start to follow each other and connect with each other and hopefully support one another through business. So I see LinkedIn as being the absolute new business card, and now more so than ever because we're forced to virtually connect with one another. So if you're not using LinkedIn at least daily, hop in the game. It's amazing. And during quarantine, I've made so many new friends. It's ridiculous. And I'm just having so much fun, and I hope you guys will too. Okay, so where is LinkedIn now? Just in case you've not really been engaging in the platform, I still want you guys to know that it's still professional networking. So it's not a place where a lot of people should be getting into arguments over politics or a lot of the things going on with the social climate that we have today. It's more professional networking. You can post jobs, look for jobs, but it's more so for you to showcase your expertise for your business and or your position that you hold within the company. 9 times out of 10, when I do this presentation, I'm talking to founders and entrepreneurs. So it's hard sometimes when they're the owner that does everything to tell them to get the most out of LinkedIn right now. You're going to really have to step into the spotlight and highlight yourself as the expert in whatever it is that you do, and you're going to have to post about it. So think about LinkedIn now as being the Facebook for professional networking. It is definitely social media, and it is now a content that fully supports content. This is a platform that fully supports content creation. So your videos that you're doing, even if you download your Instagram stories and want to throw them in LinkedIn, that's just as good. I have some of the most popular features they have in LinkedIn right now. You can post videos. There's LinkedIn SlideShare, which now that's bumping up to being one of the most utilized tools within the LinkedIn platform. You can share your slides. So if I wanted to share the slides from this presentation, I could upload that into LinkedIn, and my entire network would have access to that. There's a way to upload documents within LinkedIn. LinkedIn has private groups. So just like Facebook, LinkedIn groups are popping. So I suggest getting to know and getting in and networking within those LinkedIn groups. There's hashtags that you can use. You can follow certain hashtags. Some people have the ability to go live. I mean, it is sick. So you have to think of LinkedIn now as more of social media. And I always say that you have two types, or maybe even three types of social media users. You either have someone that's just there to consume the content. You know, they're just there. I want to be nosy and see what everybody else is doing. I may like, comment, and share, but I'm not going to be the person to make the video. I'm not going to be the person to give you my motivational tips from my car. I'm not going to be the person to write an article. I want you to do all the work. I'll consume it. And that's pretty much it. Then you have another person who is the content creator, but sometimes content creators don't really engage. They kind of do these drive-bys, I like to call them, where they'll post their video and run off, you know, so they're producing the content, but they're not necessarily playing good in the sandbox with everybody else and consuming other people's content and really making it a social networking experience. And then there's where I want everybody else to be, which is I want you to consume content, but I also want you to now, if you're not already in the mindset of creating content, especially now, like I can't even tell you guys how much I've just harped this entire time since, you know, I started working from home early March and I haven't been back to my office since, but so many interviews and videos I've done on you guys, the virtual numbers are up right now. So I don't care if it's LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, wherever your content can get seen. I want you to do what you've been doing and try to at least double it or just do a little bit more, because everybody's at home. They're on their phones all day. They're on their computers all day. So the numbers and the engagement right now and the possibility for your work to get seen, for your business to get highlighted is definitely greater, because if you will create the content that people can see. They have nothing else better to do but to be on their laptops, their computers. So give them the content to support that, okay? And LinkedIn can do that from a professional standpoint. And then when we talk about the types of content, this is absolutely the best market. If you're a nerd like me, and like I get pumped when social media, like when new trends come out, or when Facebook drops a new feature, like Instagram just dropped Instagram Messenger rooms the other day, and I was losing it and couldn't wait to go live and tell people about it. And so if I get nerdy about that, LinkedIn loves that. Now, like a TikTok audience or maybe a Facebook business audience wouldn't necessarily care, but your LinkedIn platform and your network, they care about all those educational tips that you have related to your business. They care about your industry insights. They care about those pro tips that you want to give to them. So when you're trying to think of what kind of content, like what do I have to offer, that's what's mostly supported within this platform. It's not necessarily, let me show now that little Timmy has learned how to use his, you know, like he's learned how to poo in the toilet. Like that's the stuff you see on Facebook where people just post way too much. That is not what LinkedIn wants to support. So just don't do that. So these are updated stats. I got this from Omnicore Agency. I love getting their stats every year. Just so I want you guys to just get a good, well-rounded view of why I'm so like pro LinkedIn, okay? Up from when I started doing this presentation, 2018, at the time there was only 500 million number of users. It's up to 675 million number of users. Of those, only 310 are monthly active users. So I know I've been on a rampage, and many others have been on a rampage to tell people about why it's so beneficial to get in there and to act now. 61 million LinkedIn users are senior level influencers, and 40 million are in decision-making positions. So I talk a lot with small businesses, entrepreneurs, and startups, many that need funding, many that need sponsorships, many that need PR, media, press, you know, to get the attention of journalists. These people that are in these decision-making positions are in LinkedIn. You just have to get in there, get active, engage, add them into your network, and be the rock star that you are. But if you don't know that they're there, then of course you wouldn't be in there. So that's why I'm just a huge advocate for just getting in there and getting in front of these influencers and these decision-making people. To my point, when I really got serious about LinkedIn, I added in, at the time I was doing a lot of PR for fashion retailers and designers, and I started added in like the top level people at Vogue, the top level people at, I think it was W Magazine. I got one of their senior editors in. Recently, I've added in a lot of other national editors for magazines. Now, look, the highlight of my entire year for 2000, I think it was the end of 2018, I added in Beyonce's dad, Matthew Knowles. And you could not tell me I wasn't a LinkedIn star at that point. Like, I was done adding in people. If I could get Matthew to see my stuff and he like whispers to Beyonce about me, I'm done. Okay, no more of these LinkedIn presentations. I'm about to go on the road with Queen Bee. But that's just to the power of the network, that if you have an attractive profile and there's those people you're targeting, whether it's venture capitalists or investors, they're there waiting to see your content or waiting to see what your business is doing. So get in there and get active. Last thing to my point about these decision makers that are there is, you know, I go in, I'm in LinkedIn several times a day, and I post several times throughout the week pertaining to what we're doing at Think3 Media. And one time I got a phone call. Now, mind you, I was celebrating my birthday at the casino. That's neither here nor there. Get a LinkedIn notification on my phone from a guy. And he's like, I want to meet with you on Monday because I have this brand that needs PR. And I knew immediately it was business. And at the slot machine, I went ahead and answered him back. And come to find out, he saw the work that I was doing on LinkedIn, a lot of the videos that I was posting, a lot of the highlights that the company was achieving, and literally met him on that Monday. So this is a Saturday, I was at the casino, met him on Monday. I was hired at the end of the meeting, boom, ready to go. He didn't know me from Adam. He just knew what he saw on LinkedIn. He asked a couple of references, and that was pretty much it. So these opportunities are endless if you get in there and you network. And to that point, 17 million opinion leaders and 10 million C-level executives are on LinkedIn, and they are highly, highly active. From a content marketing perspective, so this is the lens I want you guys to view this in on, is that everybody, I don't care if you're shy or an introvert or whatever, your personal brand, you as a person or on behalf of your company, you have to have a content marketing strategy. Like, this is the only way to get or see what we're seeing in LinkedIn as far as engagement, okay? So this top stat, this only 3 million users share content weekly, is like the most important stat to me, because what that says is that if you get in there and you share content weekly, remember, there's 675 million users in LinkedIn. Only 3 million are sharing content. So if you go in there and share your content and you have a strategy and you're doing it on a consistent basis, it will get seen. It will get the attention, because not that many people are doing it. They're taking the role of being a consumer. They're not being the creator. And I want you guys to flip it to now you're going to be creators on behalf of your business and your brand. Another important marketing stat, LinkedIn is the #1 channel B2B marketers use to distribute content. So if you were going to come to me, or you were going to come to my friends over at Social Revolt or any of the other digital marketing agencies in Dallas to say, from a B2B perspective, if that's your business. Now, I have argued, and I argued a couple years ago, that LinkedIn is perfect for B2C as well. A lot of people push back, and now they're saying it's B2B and B2C. So I'm doing a bow right now in my chair, is like, I told you so. But if you're looking for B2B connections, this is what a marketer would tell you to do. Come up with your LinkedIn strategy and start posting in LinkedIn about what you're doing. So it's the #1 channel they're going to recommend. So save your coins. Just get in there and get active. 6 out of 10 users, I love this stat, are looking for industry insights. So when people are logging into the app, they are looking for you to tell them what's hot, what's new, what's going on in your area. So if you're, I don't know why floral design is coming up in my mind. Maybe it's because I talked to Bree of the Mon Project earlier today, but she has a virtual workshop and floral design business. And so if she knew, like we just did a segment with WFAA on how plants and flowers can boost your mood while you're in quarantine for Mental Health Awareness Month. So if people didn't know the types of flowers to put in their homes to boost their mood, I would tell her, you need to post, or you need to create an article in LinkedIn, or you need to post this in LinkedIn. 6 out of 10 people are looking for those type of insights, that type of nerdy stuff that you think nobody cares about. They care about it in LinkedIn. Your professional content gets 15 times more content impressions than job postings, with 57% of users consuming this on mobile. Guys, 15 times, like, it's insane. And just think about how a lot of businesses rely on Facebook, and there's no diss to Facebook, but unless you're paying for ads and boosting your content and have a strategy around that, it's really hard to get traction on a Facebook business page. LinkedIn is like handing this to you guys on a silver platter if you would just get in there and post your content. 15 times more than job posting. So this shows you the flip, that this is no longer a monster or career builder type platform. This is our professional Facebook, and I love it. I don't know if you guys can tell from my voice, like I'm getting excited, like what can I post today? As far as web traffic, I'm just gonna keep spoon feeding you guys these stats because this is how I get people to convert to be LinkedIn addicts, okay? LinkedIn makes up more than 50% of all social traffic. 50% more than to B2B websites and blogs. So from an SEO perspective, search engine optimization, I feel like every small business, every entrepreneur, every startup should have a blog. I said it, don't at me, okay? Everybody should have it. You should have some sort of long form content on your site that helps with search engine optimization. And if LinkedIn is going to drive that traffic back to your website so that you can capture that customer and make that sale or whatever the situation is, I am posting my blogs in LinkedIn. I am posting my links back to my website in LinkedIn because the stats say that if I'm consistent, more than 50% of that traffic to my site is going to come if I'm B2B. So why not? Okay. 80% of B2B leads come from LinkedIn versus 13% on Twitter and 7% on Facebook. So currently, if you're going to talk about writing down an action item, I really want, if you're a B2B business, and I'm just going to go so far as to say you can be B2C and do amazing on LinkedIn, okay? I want to know, what is your social media or content marketing strategy? And look at that last stat. If you're spending way too much time on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and you're not dumping anything in LinkedIn, I need you to write that down and put it on a Post-it and put it on your computer and really start thinking, how can I transfer this information into this platform that clearly supports what I'm doing, okay? And you see they don't have TikTok on here. Some of y'all are on TikTok. You just need to leave that for fun. Unless you have a consumer product that, you know, goes towards that generation or whatever, then go for it. But let's just focus on LinkedIn. Cool, cool. All right, so what does this mean? This is the part all of my introverted people, or people who just want to be behind the computer, hate. It means that you have to brand yourself or your business as the expert or the industry leader. That means you're going to have to put yourself at the forefront. And if you don't like doing it, I always suggest find a great spokesperson at your company who can do company videos for you. But again, I'm talking about the traction and the engagement we're seeing from personal profiles. So I want you to start branding yourself as, if you're the top marketer, then I need to see a lot of marketing content from you. If you are the top in floral design, then I need you speaking to that and publishing content that molds your audience to think within their minds, like, I'm looking at her to tell me what type of plants and flowers to put in my home, how to design this, what does this do to my body, all of those things, right? And so you can develop a content marketing strategy to effectively solidify your place in the marketplace. I love how I use place 3 times. I'm a journalist. That shouldn't have happened, so I apologize. But LinkedIn has to be a part of that strategy. You no longer can afford to leave LinkedIn out of your social media postings. You just have to do it. I met a woman, I want to say last year, I did a social media presentation for the Goldman Sachs program, and she came up to me afterwards, older lady, super sweet, and she had LinkedIn questions. And I said, well, you know what? Well, let's link up. She was so cute. And I was like, let's link up on LinkedIn and let me take a look. She had 40,000 followers. She put me to shame. She had a bomb LinkedIn strategy. And you know what I did? I added her into my network immediately because I needed that kind of viewership in my life. So if she can get 40,000, all of you guys can get that too. And there is a difference between followers and who's in your network, but I don't really think we have time to get through all of that tonight. So it's a little fuzzy, but I'm just going to kind of explain. That was not COVID, I promise. I'm just going to explain a little bit about what I took notice of to let me know that I had to get in there and do better with what I was posting. So the post on the left was I won an award at an event, and I took a couple of pictures with some girlfriends, and I posted it on my LinkedIn profile like, hey, oh my God, I can't believe I won. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As you can see, I utilized my hashtags. And then before you know it, the post was like in rotation. People were commenting, they were liking, they were commenting, they were congratulating. And then after it cycled out, after about 2 weeks, it was at almost 11,000 views. So a lot of people ask me, well, how does that happen? Well, first of all, your profile has to be public, because the way that this gets traction is that I can tell you from these 226 likes, I probably didn't know over like 3/4 of these individuals, okay? All it takes is for one person to like my post, and now their entire network, depending on what they see, can have access to see my posts. So let's just say I'm going to use Michelle as an example because she's with the deck and she's very, very active in LinkedIn. Like if you want somebody to watch on how they utilize the platform, definitely link up with Michelle. But let's just say Michelle has 5,000 people in her network and she likes my post. Well, part of her 5,000 network is going to get a notification that says, Michelle just liked Leah's post. And now those people have the opportunity to say, do I want to hop over there and see what she's liking? Or do I want to just ignore it? Some people are actually going to hop in and then they're going to like it. So now I have access, or people have access to what I'm posting that I don't even know. And it just goes round and round and round. And the more that people like what you're doing, the more that they comment and that you comment back, it just keeps shooting this post up to the top of people's feeds. And before you know it, you're going to have all these likes, all these comments, and all these views. And it's going to be from people from hopefully all over the world, because it's a combination from all of your different networks engaging with you on LinkedIn. So that's why when I talk about the older lady, when she told me she had 40,000 followers, I was like, oh my God, we need to be friends, because I know that if I post, let's just call her Mary. Okay, we'll call her Mary. Let's just say Mary liked this post. I know that a portion of Mary's followers, 40,000, without me working for it, is going to have access to this. And when you're thinking in terms of what is my overall goal for my business, what is my overall goal for my content marketing strategy, at the end of the day, it's either to highlight your business or for you to find your target audience or your customer. So I know that if I want Mary's network to see all the amazing thing that's happening in Dallas, or will need what I have to do, I've got to start adding these people into my network as a part of my strategy to get this engagement going. So that is just a static post of photos. It wasn't even, you see how blurry it was. It wasn't professional. And it did well. Here's a video post. Again, I'm probably the laziest person you'll ever meet. This post was an Instagram, 15-second Instagram story. I was covering when they gave Dirk the key to the city. And the reason it looks like this is because I was sitting on the floor. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Maybe my LinkedIn network, I want them to know that I still am an active journalist. And I want them to know that I have access to these type of things. So let me just post this. And it's pretty cool. It's historic. So I just go and download the 15-second Instagram story, upload it into LinkedIn. There's a way for you to put, this caption on top. I used a quote that at the current time, Mayor Mike Rollins said, and posted it and walked away. I used my hashtags and walked away. Before you know it, 451 likes, 16 comments, but almost 37,000 views over the course of 2 weeks. And the fallout from me posting this, I added so many sports agents, athletes, professional players, sports management, sports marketing people into my network from this post. And and like I said before, I don't know half the people that were engaging. I just know that they like Dirk and they like basketball. So I was like, okay, I got to post more like that. Now, I'll be honest with you guys that these were the views I was seeing a little bit like late 2018, maybe through mid 2019. And I think as more people got into the LinkedIn network and started getting these numbers, LinkedIn started developing an advertising strategy, kind of similar to Facebook, where you have to, you can either boost or eventually they're going to want you to pay for those type of views, right? So it's not as strong anymore, but it still has the potential to get you thousands upon thousands of views on your videos and your photos if you're posting consistently every day. So the question that I have, not even a question, a comment that I have to tell people is like, imagine these were just 2 separate posts that were in the funnel for 2 weeks. They just kept circulating for 2 weeks. Imagine if you were putting things in the funnel every single day that was in relation to your business or your brand. So it could be a photo one day, it could be you sharing an article another day, it could be a short 15-second video, it could be a YouTube video, it could be a podcast that you're on. Imagine if something was in the funnel every single day. How much traffic that could drive to your website, how much traffic that could drive to your LinkedIn profile for people to check you out if you just get in there and get active. I'm not. I think you guys get the point. So, first things first though, before we start talking content, let's just talk about the platform and how you guys can get the best out of this. And I'm going to go in and out of this screen to my LinkedIn profile so I can use it as an example. So give me one quick second. Feel free to screenshot this if you haven't updated your profile in a while. Definitely work on this as homework, or I don't like to say homework, but just over the course of the next couple of weeks. Give me one quick second. I'm going to open this on my other laptop so I can. All right. So the first thing you're going to want to do, you're not going to see these kind of views in LinkedIn if your profile is set to private. So you're going to have to go in and make sure that your profile is public and that people can actually see what you're doing. If it's private, all of that crazy global networking and other people and other networks seeing your post, that will not happen at all. So give me 1 second. Okay, here it is, the platform checklist. So I'm going to get out of this. Don't let me stress you out, you guys. Oh, thank you, Katrina. Okay, so let's view my profile. All right. So one of the things that you're going to want to do, so what I did was I went to view profile. I then went to edit public profile and URL. And then when you get there, you're going to come to this screen. There's two things that I want you to do. I want you to make sure that your profile's public visibility is turned on. This is how people can see everything that you're doing. No more privacy. And then make sure that this button here is clicked to public. And I want you showing everything, because each and every last one of you guys are the bomb, and everybody needs to see all the crazy stuff you're doing, all the amazing stuff you're doing for your business. Okay, turn it all on. You're not shy anymore. Just let it all be out there. Okay, so put that baby to public. And then the next thing I want you to do is take a look at your custom URL. This is basics in branding, right? So all of my social media platforms are the Leah Frazier. I do that so that if somebody Googles me or it comes up in the search engine, I want all of my social media profiles to appear on the first couple of Google pages. I don't want to be Leah Frazier on Instagram, Leah Frazier 23 on Twitter, Leah Frazier 56 on Facebook, and then the Leah Frazier on LinkedIn. It just does not work. And from a PR perspective, a lot of people don't know this, but as a journalist, if I'm doing a write-up on you and I want to link your social profiles and I cannot find it like ASAP, I won't include them. And so you don't want to be that person where it's hard to find your stuff because you didn't go and customize it to make sure that everything matched. So make sure that that URL matches all of your other platforms. You can customize it. That is your pro tip from me. Okay. And then here's just the basics of the profile, you guys. Let's go back. Okay. So I want you to add in all of these profile sections. Don't leave anything out. Add in everything. Okay. So let me go back to just what it looks like from here. I think that's where I was at. Yeah. So you're going to go in, and if you don't have your intro or your about section, go through every single last one of these drop downs and add every single last one of them in. Okay. You don't want to leave any section out, because the profiles that are getting the most views right now are those that are thoroughly filled out. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is, especially for LinkedIn, you're going to want to obviously have a great profile photo. And it's not the same, like I keep saying, like it's not the stuffy like corporate headshots where you have the backdrop and you have your arms crossed, and you know how they always like make you twist your torso and it hurts, but they tell you, oh, this shot's going to look great. It doesn't have to be that type of profile photo anymore. Okay. It needs to be professional, but I feel like the best profile photos are the ones that actually showcase what it is that you do. So I keep using Bree. I'm just going to keep using Bree. If she's dealing with florals, I would love to see an amazing headshot of her with greenery in the background, maybe blurred out a little bit so it doesn't take away from her beautiful face, but something that tells me when I look at that profile photo, oh, this is what she does for a living. So I chose this one because I model. I'm in the industry. I want people to kind of take me seriously. And I just liked it. It was cute. And the braids reminded me of Beyonce. Maybe not the strategy that you need to have, but it's working for me. Another thing that people often leave out is their cover photo. So I don't want you guys to leave this blank. There's a lot of LinkedIn profiles that have it as basic blue, which means that if it comes up blue, it means you haven't uploaded one. The part that kind of drives me crazy is that like, so I uploaded this one, but we're actually in the process of changing it. Some really great LinkedIn profile like cover photos will actually have like your tagline or who it is that you are. I've seen some people make collages because they're concerned that, well, I work at such and such corporation, but I'm also a blogger and I'm also an author and I'm also a TED Talk speaker. the possibilities are endless, but fill in this space with a great cover photo. And a tip, if you go to canva.com, they have a whole section now dedicated to LinkedIn cover photos where you can just drag and drop your pictures, type text, and it'll come out with these exact same dimensions for you to, upload for your cover photo. Now, I think Kelly, you're logged in listening to this, so I'm going to use you as an example. So I think, Kelly, first of all, I think you have an amazing headshot here. You could tell that is that real estate headshot where they have you turn the chin down. And so Kelly's with Goosehead Insurance. I think this is great. It doesn't have to have your photo splashed all over the place, but I love the font. I love the text. She included the logo. Boom, it's done, but it tells me who she is and what she does. So great job, Kelly. You guys can create something just as magical in Canva, but that has to be updated. Okay. Your summary section. I'm going to come back to this later. But you have a featured section. Do not neglect this section like so many LinkedIn users do. Okay. This is a section where you can link back to your site. So I want you guys always to think of traffic. Like, how can I get people back to the moneymaker? How can I lead people off site back to my moneymaker? Okay. So this is a link to my website for a book I co-authored. Again, and it's all these facets about myself that I want people to know about me via LinkedIn. It's like, oh, she co-authored a book. Must be smart. Oh, she was in a JCPenney's ad. Oh, she's cute. Oh, she did a TED Talk. And I linked back to the media on the TED Talk. Okay, another JCPenney's ad. And then I did another link back to leahfrazier.com. So do not neglect the featured section. This is great for you to highlight magazines you've been in. You can upload links to YouTube videos that you're posting, anything that can highlight your company. I say go ham. Go for as many, like at a certain, when they first released this, you could only upload like 5 at a time. Like it was really weird. Now they have more. So go ham. Let people see how great you are. But do not neglect this section. It's there for a reason. A lot of people neglect it. There was something else that I was going to say about that. Most LinkedIn users are going to have their experience section filled out. This is like your resume. That's great. Fantastic. But your experience section also allows you to link to media, and a lot of people do not do that. I have one here for Think3 Media. I'm probably going to link, you can link a whole heck of a lot more. So I just suggest in those sections where they allow you to link offsite, allow you to really showcase your abilities, take advantage of that. With any type of photos, any type of website links, press mentions, just go ham. Okay, videos, go ham. Here's other media. So you can see I put more here. I think this is just a photo, but this is an actual TV segment. This is a write-up, I believe, by Dallas Innovates, and this is another TV segment for Fox. Again, I'm solidifying, like, here's who I am. Here's the great things that I'm involved in, and I want my LinkedIn network and those outside of my network to know when they come to my profile, like, wow, I want to link with this girl, woman, whatever. Okay. Your skills section. You can add a whole crap load of skills. Just add it. A lot of people will leave this off. I think this is great, especially if you have somebody that doesn't really know you, wants to do business with you, and they want to go down and say, well, what are they actually endorsed for? And this always cracks me up because people endorse for social media and social media marketing, which that is amazing. I love you guys. And then there's customer service where I'm like, y'all don't want to do PR, but I take care of my customers, so I leave it up there and it's absolutely okay. But you can have as many skills up as you want. Just know that those top 3 that people endorse you for are going to be the ones that are seen. I did work with a client one time who was being very strategic with what skills she wanted showcased. And so we did remove some of the skills that were her higher ones because she wanted other skills to rank higher. So know that you can implement a strategy to that if you know that you're really trying to get out there for another type of skill. This is my favorite part. The recommendations section. This is like your testimonial section. I will be honest with you guys. I am still working on being active with this because I had gotten into the practice of putting all the testimonials on the link on my Think3 Media site. But I love the recommendations section just because this is where people can see, like, what is it like to work with you? If you're trying to be a speaker at an event, how did you do the last time that you spoke at an event? It's all here. The beauty of LinkedIn is you can ask people for a recommendation. So who can I pick on? Let's just say I'm going to go to you, Michelle. So if I know I need to beef up my recommendation section, you can choose somebody. Let's see. Michelle, I worked with Michelle. Let's just say Michelle mentored me because she was at the deck at Redbird and I was with Think3 Media. I click next. It's going to send Michelle a direct message that says, hey, can you write me a recommendation? I send it. Now, Michelle has the ability to write me a recommendation that will fall here. But the beauty of LinkedIn is I get to review it before it actually falls here. So if I don't like it, I don't have to accept it, or there is a way to tell her to go back and edit it, but I've never had to do that. That's kind of weird. It also shows the recommendations that you've given. So I like to think of this as like, it's a give and take thing, guys. Like the beauty of social media and how it works is that genuine and authentic spirit of just wanting to be in community with one another and wanting to help one another. So don't just take all your recommendations because it will show. If you got 20 and you've given 0, kind of, don't look too good. So let's just have, a good give and take here, but it shows other recommendations that you've sent for other people. And I like looking at that because I feel like that tells me the type of person who I'm looking at on the profile. So this is like money. Testimonials are like cash, especially if you're a small business or entrepreneur. I did a challenge on my Facebook page, I think last week or the week before, where I told everybody in my network, your homework today is to go out and ask for a recommendation. You don't get what you don't ask for. And some people are dying to write you something because you've worked with them or you've changed their life. It's just not first nature for them to just go in there and do it. So you're going to have to ask for it. And I think LinkedIn has made it super easy for you to ask for those testimonials and have them on your profile. Perfection. Okay. I'm going to go back up to the headline because that's the most important part of the profile. But another part that often goes neglected is, I don't know what it is, but, and I had this problem too. I hated to talk about awards that I've won, or I really don't like talking about myself, to be quite honest, and it surprises a lot of people. I like to talk about my clients. But unfortunately, you have to get over that. And you're going to have to start tracking awards that you've won. I've put the organizations that I'm involved in. There's another board that I'm on that I need to add. Actually, there's 2 more. And then anytime any publications come out, you're able to add that into LinkedIn. And also, I love the fact that you can tag the journalist that wrote that. And so they can see that you've appreciated what they've done for you. So this is another important section that I want you guys to fill out. And then you're able to follow companies. So you can see I'm following marketing, social media, networking, Richard Branson, Google, all those, Amazon, all those guys, right? So have fun. Now, the one part that I really, really, really want you guys to focus on, if you haven't already, so again, another action item, is this headline section right here. This is the first thing that people will see if they're scrolling through profiles. And this is what I like to coin as your highlight reel. So you really want, and I know a lot of people are nervous if they feel like they're still working for another company. Maybe you have a side hustle on the side. So I try to comfort people in saying, like, this is the era of where people, it's not uncommon that people have 10 or 15 things that they have their hand in. It's not uncommon that someone will work a full-time job and be a best-selling author or be a speaker or own a nonprofit. That is not uncommon. If it kind of shakes you up a bit, my suggestion would just be to clear it with your boss, you know, if you have a full-fledged money-making machine on the side. But you will start to notice everybody on LinkedIn has this highlight reel. So I put it in order, the things that I want people to really know about me. When I won the 2 Emmys with Channel 8, I knew that had to go at the front because it brought validity to what I was doing as a business owner and in media, and I wanted that up front. Once I got the top 50 in DFW innovation with Dallas Innovates, I immediately changed my bio on all my social platforms and included that. Because again, if I'm trying to connect with someone to do something global in the UK, or maybe like that VC who found me, I want him to know who he's dealing with. And so I'm really creating like this short highlight reel to say, look, 2-time Emmy Award winner, top 50 in DFW innovation. And then here's all the different things. I'm like a McDonald's menu, or maybe Burger King. Have it your way. What do you want today? You want the journalist? You want the publicist? You want the model? You want the best-selling author? Or do you want the speaker? Which one do you want? It's all in my headline. And sometimes it intrigues people. So I would say go in there and don't just be willy-nilly and say, oh, I'm a senior marketing strategist. No. Did you win any awards? You're an award-winning senior marketing strategist. Are you like, use some really descriptive adjectives to make this section fun and for people to say, I'd really like to connect with this individual, okay? Now I'm going to get off my high horse about the headline section, but this, I would say, spend the majority of your time really crafting out something cool here. You don't have to separate it by commas. You can put asterisks if you want. You can make it cute, whatever. But just know that this is the most important. All right. I do want to talk for like 2 seconds about this about section. Mine is super short, just for the simple fact you guys saw that I had to click view more to get this last line. So this section, I always see people writing like a book, like pages. But please know that if somebody's just scrolling like this, just trying to see if they want to get to know you, they're really only having access to these first 3 lines. So just like when I train people on how to write press releases, I'm like, imagine that this whole last line here is gone, and put all your meat and potatoes in these first 3. Knock yourself out. And then anything that comes after it, manage your expectation that maybe 80% of the people that are coming your profile aren't even seeing it. Knock out these first 3 sentences, make it spectacular, and then you can have the rest to fall afterwards. But these long, drawn-out books, just to be honest with you, people aren't really doing all of that, okay? They're deciding whether they want to connect with you from the photo, from your headline, a little bit here, and then they're being a little bit nosy to see what you have going on, and then they're deciding whether they want to do business with you, okay? Excuse me. Let me make sure that was all I had to do or say on the profile before I go back in. We're going to come back to my profile in just a little bit so I can show you some additional features. Oh, that's the wrong one, right? I think so. Or maybe I go here. There we go. So take a screenshot of that, work on that. Endorsements, you guys can do that today. Ask for one. If you know me on a personal level, I can't see the chat box right now, but you can ask me for one. It is my pleasure to write endorsements for people because I know what that can do for your profile. Okay, so let's talk about 2020. I always get the question, what do I post, Leah? Oh my God, I don't know what to post. Do I post a picture? Do I post my kid? I should post my bad dog who decided to knock out my surge protector before this presentation. I guess you're the CEO. You're paying bills around here. She's looking at me like I'm crazy. Anyways, so here's what I want you to think about posting. This is what is doing really well in LinkedIn right now. So how to enlist, perform the best. So when we say that, I keep going back to this whole greenery thing. how to bring plants into your home to improve your mental health. And then you list it out, right? Or we call them listicles. So maybe you're giving, so I did a cute article probably in April with a Hollywood actress that had this really amazing short film on Amazon. So if you like short films, it's called The Critic. And we became friends on social media. Here we go. And then we linked up on LinkedIn. You see where this is going. And I reached out to her and I was like, hey, we're all in quarantine and you're the Hollywood expert. So can you give me your top 5 short films that we can get that, or not even short films, but films that we should watch during quarantine. And I don't want them to be like mainstream. And so she did that. So the article was like top 5 films to get into while in quarantine and by award-winning actress Stella Valon. And it did actually really, really well in LinkedIn and on Facebook, I think. So when we say list, that's what we're talking about. Do you have the top 3 marketing strategies for 2020? Or are you a plumber and you're going to tell me, Leah, top 3 ways not to jack up your plumbing while in quarantine, because it's probably not great to have the plumber come due to social distancing. Whatever you have to do, that's what's going to perform really well. I'm going to show you guys this function because I get this question quite often as well. So you can either do that via your website, which I'll tell you guys this. If you were trying to post an article from your website or your blog directly on Facebook on a business page, the percentage of people out of your followers or those that have liked your page that will sit slim to none unless you boost it or create an ad for it, okay? If you're posting that same article within LinkedIn, you're not going to get that ding on your report card. Like, Facebook hates when you send people out of its platform. So if you're sending them out of Facebook to go to your website, that's why you're not seeing engagement, because they want everything circulated within the platform. LinkedIn does not have that same, I would just say, grading on their scale. Okay, you can send people off site from LinkedIn and get great traction. So you can start a post and link your article directly within that and share it within your network and be great. Or I highly suggest, as a part of your content marketing strategy, that some of those posts that you're doing, write the article on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn has its own internal, almost like WordPress system where you can publish articles within LinkedIn. It would be great for LinkedIn has its own SEO keywords. So if you're trying to get visibility for yourself and your profile, writing your own articles within LinkedIn would be great. A tip that me and some of the other area content writers, what we do is, say you've created this really long article on your website and you're just like, Leah, I do not have it in me to create something absolutely new within LinkedIn. What we typically will do is post the same article in LinkedIn, but only do like the juiciest part. So it could be the first couple of paragraphs to let people know what it's about. And then that next line will say, read more here. And then we hyperlink it out to our website. That way you're getting traffic within the LinkedIn platform, and now you're sending them off-site to your website to get that same amount of traffic, because they can't get the meat and potatoes from the article until they click over to your website to see the rest of the article. So that's something that myself and some other area content writers will do when we're just exhausted because we're writing so many articles, but we know we have to post that within the platform. So you're definitely going to want to start writing your own materials within LinkedIn. If you are not a good writer, you can hire a copywriter on Fiverr or some other affordable platform, but you got to get in there and you got to start creating content. Cool beans, cool beans. All right. Posts that are split into 5, 7, and 9 headings perform the best. So that would be, again, if you're going to write an article within LinkedIn, we call it long form content. and then splitting, don't have just one long article, try to split it into sections and then have a header that explains what each section is about. So if you can create an article that at least goes to a minimum of 5 sections. So even if it was a listicle that was point 1, blah, 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 point 2, blah, 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 those perform the best in LinkedIn versus you just kind of writing a Dear Diary and for 300 words and hopping out, okay? So got to be a little bit more strategic if we know that this stuff is working. As far as articles that are natively created within LinkedIn, the studies are showing that those without video perform the best. So again, make it all about the photos and the writing. It may be best if we know that the ones with video really don't get that much engagement to leave the video out. However, videos by themselves uploaded into LinkedIn do amazing, all right? So just don't put them within the article. Now, if you have a video that you've done, let me go back to my LinkedIn profile right quick. Let me go here. And I was going to click on this video feature here, and I was going to select a video to share, and I've got a lot going on here. Let me just see. I have one with Charlene. Let me get the one with Charlene. Okay, so I had a short teaser here for some SEO stuff we did, and I wanted to share that with my LinkedIn audience. This will do quite well because I'm uploading it natively within LinkedIn, okay? What you did not see me do was take this exact same video that I actually have in long form on YouTube and post it within the comments. Because posting that video, oh crap, sorry y'all. Posting that video by itself is what's gonna get the traction. Hope that makes sense. So if you're into creating videos, you can do this on your phone. In LinkedIn, you can have up to 10 minutes before it cuts you off. So you can't, if you're trying to do a 30-minute rant for your car, ain't gonna work. But my videos are typically anywhere between 3, and I've only had one max out at the 10 because I think I got really passionate on a Facebook Live about content creation and it just went all the way left. But most of my videos are 3 minutes, and you can post that natively. So when I say that, it needs to stay within the YouTube platform. And that same video for me, just from a content perspective, goes to my Instagram TV, goes on Facebook natively, and I will link it back to the full YouTube video because I need subscribers and views on YouTube as well. But that is a whole nother deck content strategy session that I know you guys don't want me to get into right now. All right. We talked about videos. LinkedIn SlideShare has 80 million monthly active users. So if you do a presentation and you have slides, and I'll be 100% honest with you, I have only consumed SlideShare. I've consumed slides from some of the favorites that I follow. I know that I have a ton on my phone from Gary Vee. But if I know that they're getting 80 million monthly active users, and I feel like I just have this stand-up presentation that I'm not too worried about if it's copy, you've done all your legal stuff, right? And you don't mind sharing it out. With 80 million monthly active users, man, gotta get on that. So I'm in the same boat as you guys. I wanna try this out. I've consumed SlideShare. I have not contributed to it just because I've gotta get over the hump of everybody and their mama having something that I worked my butt off for, just having free range access. And then content that's doing well on LinkedIn. We talked about this long form content. There is a search engine optimization that can be utilized for LinkedIn that you can get visibility for your profile and views for your profile based on keywords that you're using, hashtags that you're using. So you're going to want to really get in there and get active and start using that within your profile. So let's talk just a little bit as we're kind of nearing towards the end of the slides, and then I want to show you guys some features. Let's talk about social interaction on the network. I've told you how to build your profile, what would make you most attractive. I know it sounds like we're going into like the dating arena. Well, this is like professional dating, and you have some people that do it all sorts of wrong. Like they'll send you a LinkedIn message and immediately try to sell you a product, or immediately try to get you to sign up on their scheduler for a one-on-one call. And I'm like, look, dude, we just met. That's a little bit too far in the future for me. Let me just see if you're cool or legit and not catfishing me first. And then maybe we can work up to how we can work together, or do this one-on-one call that I know you're going to try to sell me for, right? So don't do that. Social interaction on the network. So the average CEO on LinkedIn has 930 people in their network. So the CEO average is 930 people. I'm telling you, for where I want you guys to be to see the kind of content, engagement, and traction, I want you guys to triple that. So I want you guys to aim for at least 2,700. Sometimes when I do this presentation, some people have already surpassed that, so I tell them to double that. There is a difference between people that you add in your network and people that actually follow you. But if you can just make it a point to just try to add 5+ people into your network per week, that's going to help you when you're posting those videos, or you're posting your content, or you're sharing your LinkedIn article, for it to get some traction behind it. If you only have 10 people in your network, you're not really setting yourself up for it to get seen. So just as I'm telling you to post content and come up with, like, to make sure you're in there and you're active, that's only 50% of the battle. The other 50% is you actually getting in there and saying, oh, I'm going to add this person. Now, another question I get, well, Leah, I don't really know them. I don't know Joe Schmo from UK either, but we're all smart. So I like to think of it more as, will adding this person into this network bring me value? Can I bring them value? So again, it's that, let's play well in the sandbox together. It's a community. And 3, do they have something or someone, or are they connected to individuals that I feel can further my brand or business goal? If it's a yes to the majority of those, I'm adding them in. I need them to see what I'm posting. I need them to see what I'm doing. I am very pro Dallas. I need them to know that Dallas is not playing with you guys when it comes to its startup and business community. We mean business. So I need you to see what's going on in my city. Okay? So I'm adding in people I don't know all the time. But just like I told you guys, there's certain things on the profile that need to be filled out. I look at everybody's profile that I add in. If they're missing a cover photo and it looks a little sketch and their LinkedIn profile isn't quite filled out, they're missing recommendations, I can't really tell if they are who they say they are, they do not get added in. So you have to get out of your comfort zone. You're now going to be adding in people, but you can have a very just dynamic LinkedIn network with people you don't know, okay? Use your discretion in adding these people in, because at some point when you beef it up, you're going to go outside of people that you don't know. But I will tell you that the people that I've met on LinkedIn, when it comes to the courses that I'm dropping, the articles that are coming out on me or my company, they are the most supportive group of people. They want to set calls. I had one the other day just hop in my DM and said, I just want to send you a message and say, I'm so proud of you. I have never met this man in my life. We met through a LinkedIn event. And then we linked up. Now we're in each other's network. We're watching each other's stuff. And then he hops in my DM and said, hey, Lee, I saw what you did. I think it's dynamic. I'm so proud of you. Clap, 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 clap. Hey, I used to work for Facebook. So why don't you give me a call so I can give you better strategy around Facebook ads and retargeting? Boom. That's LinkedIn. I don't know him, but now he's my friend. Okay. So as you're adding people into your network, a pro tip to get them to actually accept you if they don't know you is to send them a personal message. Don't be like those guys. Oh my God, and set up a call and be fake about how can I help you when in the back of your mind you really want to sell. That's not good. It's getting worse on LinkedIn, if I have to be honest. Send them a personal message and say, hey Joe, I'm in PR. So most of it is, Hey, Kathy, I saw this amazing article you wrote on Oprah.com, and I have a ton of clients that are in the beauty industry and some stories that I'd like to share with you first. I would love it if you would add me into your network. That way, once that stuff is ready to drop, I can send it to you immediately. You can let me know what you think. That works for me because I'm genuine, I'm honest. I've let them know, hey, I've already looked into you. I've supported your work by reading your article. I'm putting it in the message, and it makes it more of a chance that the people that I'm trying to add in will actually add me in because I'm being genuine and not necessarily, hey, like some people actually have copy and paste messages, and it's really, really disgusting. But don't be a copy and paster. Take your time and personalize each message. As a pro tip, I don't want to say we're using people. You kind of are, but you're going to want to interact with people that have that high follower count, or maybe that when they post their videos, their lives have really high engagement. I would just say add those people in because you genuinely like the content that they're putting out. And I've met a ton of the top LinkedIn voices, and have gotten to know them personally. Some I've met in person, and I know that one like from them, one like tag on a post from them can sell out an event for me. But I contribute to their success just as much. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind. But again, we're being strategic. I also do want you to try to get some of those guys that have the higher followers into your network, so that as you're posting videos, they may like it. And when they like it, that 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 network has access to your posting. Okay. Again, we're just going to be great kids in the sandbox. We're going to like, comment, and share on each other's posts. Oh my God. So when people ask me, oh my God, Leah, I don't know what to say today. I don't know what to post today. I can't post 4 or 5 times a week. You don't have somebody, I'm just going to keep using Michelle. Michelle, you posted something, I don't know, earlier this week that was really, really good. If I'm vibing with that, that is my post for the day. I'm going to share it, and I'm going to say, oh my God, what an amazing post by Michelle today that weighs in on X, Y, and Z. I'm going to tag Michelle in it. So maybe that she re-likes that, and boom, share it. That's my post for the day. As long as it's in alignment with my brand, my industry insights, or what the voice I'm trying to put out on social media for on behalf of my company or myself, and I keep it moving. But you got to get in there and get active on other people's content. So I just, like naughty by nature, OPP, we're going to call it OPC. Are you down with OPC, other people's content? And then you say, yeah, you know me. I'm going to write that down. I've never said that before. That just came to me. Maybe it's my quarantine. The quarantine's getting to me. But you're going to like, comment, and share other people's content. All right. You are now, like, this is huge. Even huge outside of LinkedIn. For Facebook, I can't tell y'all how much right now during COVID-19, these groups have helped me for business, for networking, for leads, sales funnels, all of that. LinkedIn has specialized groups, so you can join groups for marketing, you can join groups for PR, you can join groups for those that are highly into video creation. Get in there and interact within these groups. I would say the same for Facebook too. Start finding those specialized Facebook groups within your industry. Get in there and show up and engage. Make it a part of your business strategy to get in there and get to know people from all over the world. I just launched the course a couple of weeks ago, and some of the last minute strategy that I used with our funnels and retargeting came from these specialized groups. And you guys can't even imagine how much it doubled our output just because I had other people in community wanting to see me succeed and giving me that information. So get active in these groups, search them out. When they have events, attend the events, network with your other LinkedIn members, and follow company pages. We talked about that already. Also, you're going to start posting. You can post photos. You can post videos within LinkedIn, relevant content. We talked about posting your own articles. So if you're just new to this game, I would say just get in there, get comfortable with seeing what's coming down your feed, and for your own self, post maybe 1 to 2 times per week right now. Okay. That could be you saw an article for the New York Post that you liked. If you're too scared to just, write something on your own. I've done some really cool things lately where if a quote comes to me, because again, we're supposed to be experts and thought leaders and at the forefront of our businesses. If a thought comes to me, I go into Canva, I make a really cute social media quote graphic. I post that in LinkedIn, but then I post the story behind why that quote is important. And I can't begin to tell you like how much traction those quotes are getting me. And it's just me just sitting thinking like, oh, that came to my mind. Well, let me talk about that on LinkedIn, because I feel like my LinkedIn community will understand where I'm coming from when I say, don't let perfectionism pause your pursuit. Because I think so many of us have paused doing things, launching things, getting involved in things because we want it to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be. So when I posted that in LinkedIn, it went crazy. When you post things that are highly engaged, LinkedIn will pick it up if you use your hashtags, and they will tell you, LinkedIn editors chose this as a top post within such and such hashtag, and now they're showing it to other people on their feeds that you don't even know. Or your post is trending in marketing or inspiration, but you have to get in there and get active, okay? I eventually want you guys to work your way up to posting at least 4 times a week. Remember, we're trying to get stuff in the funnel. We're trying to get seen. We're trying to master this whole LinkedIn machine. We're trying to get engagement and eyes on our profile. That means you got to get in there and you got to get kicking. So think smarter, not harder. If you're already posting something on Facebook, just take that same thing, take an additional step, post it in LinkedIn, as long as it's within that professional content. You may have to change the caption just a little bit to match the LinkedIn audience. Boom, and be done. Okay. Now, don't be Hollywood. The only way you're going to keep that post rising within profiles and people to continually see it is if you're interacting with the people that are interacting with it. So I always tell people it seems a little self-serving, but who cares? You need to like your own post. Start off that engagement trail, or getting that momentum going by liking your own post. Okay, it will send a message to some that, oh, I'm just going to use Kelly because Kelly came to my head again. Kelly just liked such and such post, and then you will get tipped off to maybe go over to that post. But like your own post first. And then when people start interacting with it, write back to them, because what's shooting off within the different networks is Leah just responded to Kelly's comment on da-da-da-da-da-da, or Michelle just wrote on so-and-so's post da-da-da-da-da-da. So you have to be in there and highly engaged. And I know it's like, oh, well, I have work to do all day today. Well, choose a point where you're going to go in there and keep that post going to the top of people's feeds. And the only way you can do it is if you keep it active, you keep engaging with it. So interact, and engage, okay? Use your hashtags. Now, I went nuts when they first dropped hashtags, and I was using like 20 a post because I was like, I want this one post to get segmented out in marketing and in PR and in entrepreneurship and startup. But what LinkedIn does, it will scan your post if you're using hashtags for certain keywords, and it will designate what top hashtag is going to actually categorize it in. So it will choose like your top hashtag. So when it told me, oh, your post is trending in influencer marketing, LinkedIn, if I have 30 hashtags down there, LinkedIn chose it for me. But you still can use multiple hashtags, because there are people that there is a way in LinkedIn to follow specific hashtags, and maybe you want your work to be showcased in front of that particular audience. So definitely use the hashtag with the related content. And I talked about this already. Using hashtags with high engaged content allows LinkedIn editors to boost your content up the feed. So if it's going really well, you will get a notification that says, LinkedIn, your post is now trending in such and such hashtag. So that's one thing. It's an entirely different thing for it says, LinkedIn editors chose your post to feature within blah, 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 whatever is trending. So you want to get in that game, because once they do that, you're going to get a ton of network requests and a ton of engaged followers, and I love it. So a basic starter strategy, again, please don't overthink this. Don't pull your hair out. Don't come cuss me out. It's totally doable. Just do it your own way and at your own speed. But I want you guys to work to post 1 to 2 times a week. And it's really hard for me to do this virtually because by this point in time, I'd be showing you how to do certain things in your phone. But it's very user-friendly. Like, I'm on my Mac, right? So if I'm going to just make a post, you're going to start a post. You can either put a link in there. You can upload a quote. And let me see if I can see the last thing that I posted. Let's see. It was a video. Oh, it was Charlene's video. Is this the quote one? No, I want to show y'all the other quote that they boosted. Give me 1 second. So this one I did, again, in Canva. I'll show you this. So you see how it's all segmented out. This one I did in Canva. This was based off of a phone conversation I had with someone that was inviting me somewhere. And she said, I'm making an investment in you before you make an investment in me. It really stood out to me. So I wrote it down, and then I went into Canva and created this cute little graphic. And then I wrote out like what it meant to me. And then at the end, I tagged some women who I feel like always invest in what I'm doing. Now, I really did this from my heart, but also on that strategic level, it's like, well, if they see it, especially like my dear friend Lila Smith, who has like 35,000 followers, then if they like this and comment and say whatever, I'm utilizing all of these networks to kind of boost this post. And it took probably like 3 or 4 days to get traction. But when it did, I got a notification from LinkedIn that this was trending within motivation. And you go down to comments, all the things that I'm telling you. So there's Lila, she tags Volta, they're talking, and then I'm talking back to them. As you can see, I loved my own post. I loved it. It's currently at 1370 in views. Here's Alicia talking to me. Now I missed this one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and like, you are very welcome. There's Rob. I don't know Rob. Sorry, if Rob is on this LinkedIn, I'm so sorry. We've never met in person, but Rob is all about it. He watched my TED Talk. I'm like, oh, I'm loving it. Boom. And then we have James. James I met through the Debt Network. So he's commenting and I'm commenting back. So you see it's this back and forth that's going to push this back up the feeds. There's Cortland. I know Cortland from the modeling world. I tagged Kiana. So here's Kiana, just like Lila, going into my post and making a comment. Dr. Carl, he's always commenting on my stuff. So I like Dr. Carl. And then there's Milani, who I've never met. I believe Milani's post came after it got pushed up the feed. And so this is an example of something that you can post. So that's relative to your brand. It's not rocket science. It just needs to be things that you care about, right? Focus on your keywords, share someone else's post or relevant content, tag people in the post. I just showed you guys how beneficial that can be. So when I teach this class, I always tell people, like, if you're scared to posting your first LinkedIn video, please tag me, because I will go and like it and get that engagement started for you. And then my people see it, and 9 times out of 10, it's kind of funny. They know that I'm probably teaching the LinkedIn course because they'll say, oh, she's doing her LinkedIn course again. But they'll go over and like your stuff too and get stuff rocking and rolling. And then I want you to comment on posts or interact with a group or attend some LinkedIn virtual events at least once a week. You're probably going to do better with just commenting on somebody's post and I would say find one good group. And then I want you to increase your usage to daily over time. I'm not trying to get you addicted to social media or addicted to LinkedIn. I just know the value that is provided for me and my business to get seen outside of Dallas. I've gotten a ton of speaking opportunities. I did 3 virtual summits based off of the videos I was posting in LinkedIn. We've gotten clients from LinkedIn. I mean, it's an amazing network, and I can't talk enough about it. It's amazing. You got to get in there. You'll thank me. So in summary, before I get out of this and take a look at you guys' questions, set up an eye-catching platform for success. So that whole profile checklist that I sent you guys, really work through it one by one by one. Do not try to do it all at once. It's a lot. You're going to stress yourself out unless you're doing it with a glass of wine, which I do not recommend because who knows what you'll write on there, but maybe some coffee. But just take it piece by piece by piece, chunk by chunk, okay? Then I want you to set up a plan for actually growing your network. A lot of the engagement and how we really mastered the platform was not achieved overnight. It was a step-by-step process, and it still is for me, where it's like, should this piece of content go in LinkedIn? And if so, taking that extra step to post it, but also while I'm in the platform, making sure that I'm adding more people into the network that can see what I'm doing, okay? And then really focus on crafting out your expertise. So again, a lot of people want to know, what should I be posting? Well, what are you passionate about? Like, what is your business about? Hopefully you're doing something that you absolutely love, or hopefully there's topics within what you're doing that you absolutely love. Like I said, I geek out when new social media changes happen and there's trends in stats, and I absolutely hate going live, period. But when some new stuff comes out and I test it out and it's like magic, I can't help myself. I have to get in there and tell people about. And that's how I know, okay, I should be posting this, because people can feel that energy when I'm posting it, okay? But it's relative to my brand and my brand goals. And it also promotes me in the area of expertise that I want to be seen in. And then interact. No drive-bys. We're going to get to know one another. We're going to play well in the sandbox. We're going to like and share each other's comments. Just a couple of minutes. You don't have to stay in there all day. Just a couple of minutes, see what's coming down your feed. Say, oh man, that was so good. Oh, I watched your video. That was powerful. People remember that, and they remember that sense of support and community, and that's what LinkedIn is about. And then just have fun. I was on something similar to what you guys are on tonight, and somebody decided to make a Google spreadsheet in the middle of the presentation, and now we're all buddies. And the message that we sent to each other is like, hey, I was on the same LinkedIn event with you, want to start following what you're doing. And before you know it, you added 100 people into your network. And to me, that's fun, especially when these people are not in Dallas. They have incredible careers, and now I get to see them flourish. And so I love it, and I like it a lot. Okay. My parting words to you, I use this a lot. Anybody that's in this from one of my other courses, I use this with you guys, but this is all social media is about, right? Perception is reality. So if you want people to know more about your business, what you're doing, your expertise, you have full control, or at least the majority of the control of how you're shaping your perception of who you are and what your business is doing on LinkedIn. What you post, and if you post consistently, so consistency is key. It's almost like, I don't like using the word brainwashing, but it kind of is. You're like molding your audience to expect certain topics and certain things from you. But the only way they know that you're the master in that area, or you're the expert in that area, is if you continually post relevant information in that regards. And then patience is golden. I did not realize that LinkedIn supported content creation as much until I saw a friend of mine. Many of you guys know Rachel Chang. And it was before she and I actually really got to know each other. And I was like, this girl's doing videos from her car and she's getting like 30,000 views. What's going on with LinkedIn? And I just watched how she really navigated. She was posting videos every day. And I watched her platform grow and the opportunities for her grow because of how active she was on LinkedIn. I sat down with her and was like, what the heck is going on? I started posting, and I was consistent for 6 months before I saw the 11,000 views, the 37,000 views. It took patience on my end to grow my network, to get used to posting and figuring out what does my LinkedIn audience want to see from me. and then interacting within the network. So please be patient with yourselves, but this is how you play the game. You can Google everybody else's LinkedIn tips. Pretty much all of our stuff is the exact same. Grow your network, get in there and engage, but create content yourself, do it consistently, and it's going to change what you're doing and your business. I promise you. And then I'm going to answer your questions, but that's how you master this puppy. 3 million people, only 3 million are doing it. And actually, I would say less are doing it in this way. 3 million are putting the content in there, but as far as really getting in there, engaging and being strategic and getting involved in groups and events, nobody's really getting out there and doing it like that unless, you know, you're at the top of your LinkedIn game, and I want you guys to be at the top. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly through my email. I'm also, if you made it this far, offering you email. I'm going to email you a freebie if you email me. And that freebie is a couple of weeks ago, I did a PR Yourself webinar for free, and it went really well. And so if you're trying to figure out how to get press and media for your business during COVID-19, that will be my gift to you. You can watch it when you have a couple of hours to really soak in the information. We've seen some incredible results from folks who only went to the free webinar, and that is my gift to you. So if you're wanting to figure out the PR game, or you know you should be on TV right now talking about your expertise, or in the blogs or on digital outlets, please email me. I will send you that link for free because I want all of you guys to succeed. And then there are my tags. And of course, please network with me on, oops, somebody's calling me. Decline. Please connect with me. Did I just get out of the thing? Oops. Oops. I think I just disconnected. Hold on. Is everybody still there? Am I still on? I don't know. It says I'm still live. And that's it. So let's see. They say I'm still here. Thank you, Obi. Questions? Good. Amaka, Molly. Okay. Obi, did we keep track of questions? Hey, Andrea. Yes, I love all you guys. I love all you guys. If y'all need help with developing out your sites or LinkedIn profiles, please let me know. How do you know how many people to follow? Don't go nuts and try. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Jamila. I will check backstage. The email for the freebie, I will type it, and I'm going to answer your question. I think the computer is going to get the best of me tonight. It should be in there, hopefully. Leah at think3media.com. There you go. Don't go nuts and try to add a bunch of people into your network at the same time. There was a point in time where they could disable your profile if you just went absolutely crazy. But if you're just doing 3 to 5 a day, it's not going to tip them off that you're like going crazy. How many people each person has followed them? I only see 500 plus. No, the plus is there for a reason, because there's more people than that. It'll say 500 plus, but that person could actually have 35,000 people following them. That's just, LinkedIn has always been like that. So it'll tell you 500, but you will actually have more than that. I'm wondering if I'll pull it up on, mine may show the same thing, Jeannie, but like if you went, it shows the 3918 on the back end. But there's a way on people's profiles, if you're on the front page of their profile, it will show you how many followers they have. It's on their front page. I wonder, let me see if I can pull up Lila's. Lila Smith. You're looking at connections. So let me show you. I'm going to share my screen with you. I'll share my screen. Woo, the share screen stuff is not for me. Okay. So here's Lila. Again, great photo, great cover photo. Love her. So you can see that it shows you that 500 plus in connections. Again, connections and followers are different. Followers are people that have clicked to follow Lila. So right here under activity, you can see she has 38,303 followers. And, but that just means they follow her. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're within her LinkedIn network, if that makes sense. Let me try to get out of that. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm trying to get out of this, so give me 1 second to stop sharing. You're welcome. I will look at yours afterwards. Do you recommend premium? And if so, why? For the person who asked about premium, everything that I showed you guys tonight was not a premium profile. This was all for free. So if you're just now getting into LinkedIn and trying to get active and get in there, I do not recommend doing premium right now. I would prefer for you to build up your network and prefer for you to get used to posting your content first. When you're trying to network at a higher level, like maybe really putting some of those high level C-suite folks in who may have parameters on how they accept people into their network, premium does allow you features where you can private message them. If they've turned that off, that you have to be a premium message or a premium member to be able to do that. So in my case, I will be honest, I've been with a free profile this entire time, but I am considering going premium because there's some people within the magazine and the TV network community that I need to get access to. And I know that I have to have premium to be able to even send them a message to get them in. So thoughts on manual posting versus auto posting? Oh, this is hard. It depends on what platform, but I would say do manual posting. Auto posting, for me, the only platforms I auto post to is like Twitter, and that's pretty much the only one. And I do it through like a platform like Hootsuite or Sprout Social or something like that. But when it comes to, now I schedule posts within Facebook, but I schedule it within Facebook. I don't use a third party social media program to post for me, because I know when it comes to Facebook, like they don't like that. They want everything within their platform. So I would suggest manually doing it for now. Yeah, I know it's a lot of hard work. I want to give you an easier answer, but do manual for now. Do you add people who are soliciting? Absolutely not. It ticks me off to no degree when someone is trying to sell me something and you don't know me. I appreciate the connections on LinkedIn where people are genuinely interested in what I'm doing in the community. We're trying to see how to support one another. And then they let the relationship grow. It really is like professional dating. So if you don't even know me and the first thing you're telling me to do is hop on a call with you. Oh, and let me tell you guys, nothing is worse than when somebody hops in your DM trying to link up with you on LinkedIn and then they get your whole entire business wrong. Or they get your whole entire industry wrong. When you do that, no, you don't get into the circle. The next question is, what podcast am I listening to? Currently, I love Gary Vee. So Gary Vee is my podcast that I listen to. Also, my absolute favorite, is the Quote of the Day show with Sean Croxton. I will put it into the comments, SeanCroxton.com. I feel like he has the absolute best podcast for motivation, and it's like 15 minutes or less, and it gets you jacked up and moving. I'm also on the email list for Brendan Burchard. So if I need something a little bit more strategic, I like getting his emails and watching his videos every day, but I know some are like really long. So it just depends on what my day is. So between Gary Vee and who's my other person I just mentioned, those are like my top 2 podcasts. Oh, and there's a guy I met on LinkedIn, Julian Placino, has an amazing podcast. I've listened to his a couple times. He monetized his podcast through LinkedIn and now makes like 6 figures a year as a speaker because he was putting his podcast into LinkedIn and grew a following from LinkedIn. And I just interviewed him. So that will be on my YouTube channel early next week. Let's see. Where are you getting your fuel for innovation and creativity? My fuel is definitely within those groups, you guys. Right now, I'm not even gonna lie to you, it's hard. In marketing and PR, I was telling the deck team this, we were the first budget cut. When people had to make a decision, they're gonna pay their employees, they're gonna pay their contractors, they're not gonna pay a marketing retainer. And so being inside of those groups and networking with like-minded individuals is what fueled me. And also my clients, even though contracts were put on pause, I still felt a desire and a duty. It was like an ethical duty to help them get through COVID-19, now some paid, but some, if an idea came to me, I would just pick up the phone and call them. So they are my fuel. Their success is my fuel. And I constantly am trying to be creative and innovate on their behalf. So that's where I get my fuel. And I read a lot of books. So like right now I'm surrounded by books you just can't see. Where do you find the strong groups on LinkedIn? I've been lucky enough that those people that have those large networks, I was able to network within them and they added me into the groups that were actually legit. So the person who sent that question, if you want to email me, I can assist you. If you tell me kind of like what your target area is, I can try to help you find the actual best network group for you on LinkedIn versus you get into the ones that like maybe just started or don't really have enough going on. How do I truly monetize this? That is a loaded question, whoever sent that. It's okay. So LinkedIn to me is like another section of PR. So PR marketing to me serve similar but different functions, right? So it's really you having your stuff on the back end together to truly get it to a point to where it's monetized, okay? So if you're posting content, being sure that there's always a call to action, that you're always sending somebody back to your website. And when they get to your website, how are you converting them into your database the moment they hit your website? It's not just read my blog. No, when you come to the site, do I have an email pop up? Am I getting an email from you? Is there an attractive opt-in offer? And then it's up to you to have a great marketing strategy, whether that's a great email newsletter or a great product or service that you continually or giving them something that's valuable to draw them in that eventually turns to money, if that makes any kind of sense. I will be honest with you, a couple of years ago, I went to a lot of influencer marketing groups and I told them that there are LinkedIn influencers. And so there are some LinkedIn influencers who have those high views that can monetize it for like brand partnerships and things like that. But the influencer marketing world has not yet caught up to the fact that there's some highly influential community leaders that can post one thing and get 40,000 views and to help them monetize it. So monetizing in an influencer way on LinkedIn has not yet caught up. It's more of you have to use this to drive traffic to wherever you know your moneymaker is. So being very strategic. And for me, it's like if I'm a speaker, I'm going to post things relative to speaking, and I'm ready to send them that book, book me and my speaker rates. So it's all strategy. Do you have a paid business profile so you can see your stats? overall, everybody will have access to analytics. I'm sorry that I didn't get to go through that with you guys today, but you are able to see where your views are coming from, what position that they're in, what state that they're in. It's very detailed. I do not have a paid business profile. Think3 Media, our profile is completely free, but because I'm trying to build up that number base. And I like that LinkedIn now has it, that if you've connected your personal profile to your business, when somebody connects with you in your network, they have the option now to follow your page. So make sure your business page is set up and ready to go so you get that follow from them. But I have not paid for a business profile because I just don't think that, for me right now, I'm getting what I need out of the platform. But eventually when I need to go way higher up as far as who I need to do business with and those CEOs, I will be paying, and I'll be honest with you guys. And when I test out premium, I'll come back and do another presentation on how to strategically use premium. But I get that question all the time. Myself, Lila, Rachel, I'm just naming all the top LinkedIn influencers. We're all on free. What's the difference in the network and followers so that I can know what I'm growing? Your network is people that you're actually inviting in. So like, think of your network like family. Or what was that movie where it's like, you're now in the inner circle. You're letting people in your inner circle, okay? They're super close. They get to see everything that you do. You get to interact. They get to interact with you in your DMs. There's a way to make your DMs a little bit more private, but they're really in that inner network circle, okay? If somebody just clicks to follow you, they're not in your network. They're outside of the network. So they see all of your posts, but you don't see their stuff. So either way, there's people that don't know me that will click the follow and not ask to be in my network, and that's fine. I hope that answers the question. I think that you should be growing both. When you're connecting with people and adding them into your network, that's more of an intentionality on your part. Your followers are going to come because you're posting amazing content and they want to see more from you. So those people are going to follow you without asking for that connection back where you have to see their stuff, because maybe you don't want to see what they're in. So, and I know it looks like I'm talking over here, but it's because I'm looking at the chat box. So I apologize. Are there certain times to post that are better than others, similar to Facebook and IG? It's so funny because on LinkedIn, I typically post in the morning, or I try to think of when are people at work, or when are people scrolling at work. And I also used to think on LinkedIn that, oh, I'm not going to post on the weekends. And I've actually had some great traction on Saturdays and Sundays. So it's really weird. I typically post either in the morning or towards the middle of the day, and have seen really great traction. I've stopped doing the whole days of the week thing for LinkedIn. Now that's different from our other platforms, just because people are in there and rocking and rolling every day of the week. But if it's something super duper duper important that I want people to see, I'm doing it Monday to Friday. Hope that helps. I think I answered. All right, so I think I answered all of the questions that I think somebody asked about what the number one and all of that stuff meant. Really, like if you see a 1, that's people that are in your direct LinkedIn, like your first connective network. If you see a 2 or 3, they're not necessarily within your network. They're like, think of it like your cousin that's like twice removed. So they're not in the family yet. They're 2 people removed, or they're closely within that second or third line of your network. Okay, Jamila, I think that's all the questions. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Obi. Yes, y'all, get in Canva. Canva is life.
Hi, everyone. Thank you again, Leah. This was really, 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 really good. Everyone, feel free to put your information in the spreadsheet above. And as Leah said, please reach out to her via email. Her email address is in the chat. Also, I will pin it Make
Can I answer Andrew's question right quick? How do you sell a product without pissing people off? Andrew. Oh, I just got my braids done and you're tearing them apart. Not you, Andrew. How do you sell a product without pissing people off? I forget what the theory is called, but it's the same in LinkedIn about building value and trust with your audience. So you want to give them value, sell. So whatever you have to do within your expertise, let's just say I'm selling this pen. Maybe I'm doing a quote. The next thing I'm posting has to do like top 10 pins for 2020. The next one is a video on how to write calligraphy. You're giving them value, and then boom. Oh, by the way, sign up for this free opt-in offer or something that now I'm selling my pins, and it goes to your website and boom. But you've given me 5 things of value for me to trust you from. So now I want to do business with you. Don't come on LinkedIn trying to sell me out the gate with the first message in the first post. That'll get you an unfollow real quick. I'm done.
Thank you again, Leah. Thank you so much.
Say bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you guys again for tuning in for our series Master LinkedIn with Leah Frazier. We hope you really, really enjoyed it. Like I said, feel free to please utilize all of the LinkedIn connections people dropped in the chat. Utilize the LinkedIn spreadsheet we have pinned at the top. Please reach out to Leah Frazier via email for that freebie. We'll also be sending over her copies of this event, which was recorded. So feel free to see that on her LinkedIn, and she may use in social posts. And you guys will be able to utilize that too for extra learning tips. So if you have any questions for us, as far as the Decade Redbird, we are currently closed due to the current pandemic, but we will be announcing kind of our slowly reopen or rollout strategy in the coming months. But excuse me, overall, thank you guys for tuning in, and let us know if you have any questions. Be safe. Have a good night.
Yo. You see me?
Yes, but I stopped it. Do you want me to restart it?
Are we live?
No, I stopped it, but do you want me to go back live?
No, I'm cool.